All right. Those anti-ICE agitators who harassed churchgoers in St. Paul on Sunday are finally facing consequences. Attorney General Pam Bondi announcing the arrest of 3 alleged organizers of that mob. What were their names? Nakima Armstrong, William Kelly, and Chantel Allen, all charged with conspiracy to deprive rights and violating the FACE Act. Now, just last night, Nakima was on CNN trying to convince viewers they meant no harm.
We did not rush into that church. We actually went and sat down and participated in the service. I proceeded to ask him about Pastor David Easterwood and how is it possible for him to serve as both the pastor and the director of ICE for Minnesota. And instead of responding to me, as soon as I said the name David Easterwood, the pastor said, "Shame, shame." I want to clarify that. We didn't rush in, we didn't bust in. We were a part of the service until I got up and posed that question to the pastor.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey tweeting his support and calling for Armstrong to be released immediately. And Vice President J.D. Vance was on the ground in Minnesota showing support for the ICE agents that have been under attack and demonized by the state's top officials.
They're trying to arrest sex offenders, but they're trying to do it in an environment where local officials have been told, do not help them, do not provide intelligence about where these sex offenders might be. This is disgraceful. If you assault somebody, if you make a 9-year-old girl cry because you walked into her church and harassed her, we're gonna go after you with every single tool that we have.
So, Greg, Nakima Levy says, we did not rush in the church, except it very much looks like they rushed in the church.
Yeah, I mean, clearly they did something wrong, but why do we have to make fun of their faces? I don't get it. I mean, what is the FACE Act? It's because they're ugly? That makes no sense to me. You know, before there was ICE, there was Doge. And the tantrums, though, are the same. They're interchangeable. The agitators are reacting against any attempt for order. So it's not really a movement for justice. It's a movement that pushes chaos. And it's kind of weird that there is no protest from the parents in Minneapolis complaining about their daycares closing. It's like, where are all those parents that saw those Somali daycares go down? Shouldn't they be out on the street? Like, hey, my kids, they're at home. I don't know, weird. Frey says it's a moral imperative to block ICE. So he's just making the case for Good's family for a wrongful death and negligence. He's saying that the chaos that led to her death is preferable to cooperation that would have prevented her death. If a kid plays in traffic, it's not the car's fault who hits him. It's the sick parents who told him it was safe and recommended. That is exactly what Waltz and what Frey have done. They have said, hey, this is okay, you can do it. I think that this opens up an entire wave of lawsuits in sanctuary cities where local officials refuse to hold violent felons or share info or hand them over to ICE. And then those felons ended up maiming or killing citizens. Again, a decent lawyer, any lawyer, even you, Kaylee, this is a slam dunk. An illegal felon, the city releases, kills your daughter, your mother, your sister, drunk driving, whatever. How is that not like a lawsuit? It's like a chemical company releasing toxins into the water, knowingly doing it.
Well, thank you for calling me decent. That is so kind, Greg. I appreciate it. Sandra, Bill Malugin, I was looking at some of his reporting, and one of these who was arrested appears to be a St. Paul school board member. I cannot imagine someone being involved with my children, even as a school board member, and then potentially storming a church.
Well, J.D. Vance, the vice president today in his speech, and he took a lot of questions. We covered it live on America Reports, took a lot of questions from the reporters in the room, and he was incredibly strong in defending the actions of the ICE individuals in Minneapolis on a day, obviously, where we're covering this story, and that matters. He was challenged by one of the reporters in the room about this 5-year-old that was separated from his parent. But he went on to tell the reporter, do you actually know what happened in that story? The dad was an illegal alien who they were there to lawfully arrest and had reason to do so, and he fled federal authorities, and that is what happened, and that's why he became detached from his 5-year-old son. While at the same time, the vice president showed sympathy for any parent being separated from their 5-year-old. You look at what's happening with these ICE officers on the ground. J.D. Vance said it today. They can't stop for a bathroom break. They're being refused into public restrooms. They're being refused a cup of coffee or to get a bite to eat. It's incredibly difficult right there, and you know, you sympathize for them trying to just carry out their lawful duties on the ground there as this plays out.
Could I just add to that? This is the performative ignorance where we are required to explain every story in the
Yes.
news. It's our job to go, like they ask the follow-up question when that story comes out on X or Blue Sky.
Yeah, and Greg Bovino today, to your point, saying we've been stopped for 8 to 10 hours. He kept emphasizing that during his press conference. That's scary.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.